Hello everyone! Hello, it's a big day. So I've been selling on Poshmark for 1 full year. Yes. A year ago, May 23rd, 2018, it's 19 now, 2018, I decided to put all of my business, I had formerly been selling on eBay for the most part. I shut that all down and I decided to move all of my business over to Poshmark because among a few reasons, the main reason being that Poshmark is the place to sell clothing. If you look at the App Store, like iTunes is closing. Did you know that? If you look at the Apple App Store, Poshmark is constantly outperforming any other app as far as reselling clothing goes. So why wouldn't I want the majority of my business to be on Poshmark? Another reason I wanted to be pushing Poshmark is because they are not a public company yet. They're still in growth mode. They're still constantly developing, and I feel like I'm an early adopter of the app. Now, a lot of people would say, oh, it's been around long enough, you're not early, but I couldn't have done, you can't do what you can do on Poshmark on places like eBay it's not the wild, wild west anymore on eBay. It's still pretty wild on Poshmark. You can still do a lot of crazy things on Poshmark to make sales. So I really felt like I needed to focus my energy on this growing app, because if I did that 5 years down the road, I could essentially be one of the bigger sellers on Poshmark. There's no reason that 5 years from now, if I continue at the growth that I'm doing, I can't be doing $500,000 in sales every year. I could be doing $1 million in sales every year if I really push myself. So here's the thing, Poshmark is still very early. There is a lot of competition, but there's also less competition than, let's say, a marketplace like eBay. And it's growing faster than eBay's growing. So for me, it all lined up. It was a good business decision to move my business over to Poshmark's platform. Now, I'm super happy with my numbers. I wanted to hit 100,000 in sales my first year using it. I did not hit that number, just to be totally upfront. But I did, however, sell over 5,000 items on Poshmark my first year. That makes me feel pretty good. I also took about 6 months of the year and I wasn't working very much. I had shut down a business and I was kind of in redevelopment mode, kind of trying to figure out where my path was going. I was only putting in maybe 20 hours a week into this business. I have multiple streams of income, but into this business, maybe 20 hours a week. I could have done much better numbers if I would have been putting in those full 40 hours a week. I did have an assistant for about 6 months when I was doing this. However, it wasn't like her full-time thing was not Poshmark. She also probably put in about, 15 hours a week into the Poshmark store. So all compared, really, I did not put as much time as I should have into this Poshmark account. If I would have put in full-time hours the whole year, I would have done significantly more in sales. But going forward, we will put in that time, and I'll talk about that a little bit at the end of the video, what my goals are for the next year and how I'm going to be successful in hitting those goals. Anyway, let's go over to my sales report. So if you don't know this, Poshmark has a sales report, and that sales report you can download from the app or from the website. You just go into my sales if you're on the website, and there's a tab, my sales report. They email it to your email. You have lots of data. I'm not the best at arranging this data, but I will show you a few things. So we're going to transition here. This is my sales report. You can see 5/23/2018. This was my first sale. This Lululemon ride-on jacket. And then you can see all of these sales. This is the past year. We're gonna get all the way down to the total here. And that total is $97,750 in sales my first year on Poshmark, with just over 5,000 items sold. Woo! That's a lot of items, guys. That's a lot of cash flow. Let's break that cash flow down a little bit. What they paid me out, this is the shipping discount that I gave, was $2,000 the last year. So when you send an offer to someone, you have to give a discount on shipping. The discount I gave was $2,000. And then after fees, after Posh fees, I was paid out $75,624. Whoa, let's talk about that. So $75,000 went into my bank account from Poshmark in the last year. Obviously, that's not all profit. So there is cost of goods, and cost of goods for me is about 30%. So we're talking about $25,000 in cost of goods, which leaves about $50,000 pre-tax, which means I still have to pay taxes. So there'll be more write-offs on top of that. We all know there's lots of stuff you can write off when you own your own business. But $50,000 pre-tax. Now, that's pretty good. Especially because I really wasn't putting in a ton of hours into this. So imagine if I was putting in that full 40 hours a week, every week into this business, I would have probably done double that. So, and that is my goal for next year. We'll just start talking about that. We're going to keep this video pretty short and sweet because, like, what is there to say? I sold almost 5,000 items. It was 97,000 in total, and they paid me out 75,000. I learned a lot of lessons, which I've shared with you on this channel through my journey. So I'm not going to sit here and like break it down a ton. Like I'm not going to be like, oh, and I learned all of these different lessons. I've been sharing my journey this whole year with you guys, which has been great and amazing. And I really couldn't have done this without any of you. So I'm super, super thankful. But I do want to talk about what my goals will be for the next year on Poshmark. So what I would like to see myself do is really put in my full potential. Because I did not have a great year mentally. I had a lot going on. I needed to figure a lot of stuff out. And so I needed to really just sit back and take my time. And it is a luxury that I'm able to do that. I know a lot of people out there don't have that luxury, but since I've worked really hard and I've set up multiple streams of income, I do a lot of direct sales to people. I do social media. I have a husband who has a job, so outside of, this is a job, but I have a husband who has a job outside of the house. And so essentially I had a little bit of free range as far as like, hey, I don't have to put in 40 hours a week, so I can figure out what I want to do. Well, I figured it out. I really want to push myself hard on Poshmark, get it together, and see what I'm actually capable of if I'm putting in that full 40 to 60 hours a week on Poshmark. So how I'm going to do that is I'm going to start using, I'm going to do some time clocks for myself to make sure that I'm keeping up with that promise. So I will be using like Hourly. It's an app on my iPhone to check in and out every day to see how I did. And I'm also just going to have better goals. I am a goal-oriented person, so I'll have some weekly sales goals that I want to hit, of weekly listing goals that I want to hit. And I'll have weekly sourcing goals as well, because a lot of the time, like, I just need to source more. And you do get burnt out going to Goodwill and other places every single day. So I'm going to stick to a better schedule this next year. And my goal really is to just double what I did this year. So if I can do 200,000 in sales in the next year on Poshmark, that's the goal. That's the goal. Now, some of my favorite things about the Poshmark app, because we're talking about it, it is still very wild, wild west. Very wild, wild west. There's a lot of things you can do on the app. Like in your listing, you can type out all your different keywords, and it doesn't just, when people are searching for you, it's not just searching the title, it's searching the whole paragraph description that you write about that. eBay stopped doing that a long time ago, unless you actually like hit the search within the description box, which not a lot of people do. So as far as search results go, it's very easy to get placed higher. Also, you share your item, and sharing your item boosts it back up to the top of search. That is a huge, huge, huge benefit on Poshmark. And then, obviously offers to likers. So sending out offers to people who have liked your item. That's how I got the majority of the sales in the last year. I would say at least 70% of my sales come through from offers to likers. Try and send out offers to likers. I do my whole closet every Thursday, and then I try and send them out randomly through the week as I see people liking things. I like to do it on Thursday nights because that's when people are getting their direct deposits, and that's when I feel like they're more likely to be buying things. Other takeaways from the app this year are just to be very, very good at sharing your closet. I try and share my closet at least twice a day, for sure once a day, sometimes 0 times a day, if I'm honest. But you know, I have a mom of 2 kids. It happens. But my goal really is to share at least twice a day, and then to share parties as well. So what I like to do is I like to go into the parties and I like to share from there. So I'll just sit there for an hour and I'll share every person who is shared to that party. I'll share that item. That's been very successful to me because those are people who are actually active on the app. And then just making sure you're using your bundles. So if someone likes multiple items, bundling them together for them, putting them into a bundle, and then sending them an offer, but making sure that I write a little note attached to it. Like, hey, I noticed that you liked a few items. I went ahead and bundled it for you, and I sent you an offer. If you have questions, let me know. Then I'll follow their store. I'll share their items. You really want to give back as much as you take from the Poshmark app. It is a community. It's very, very important in my opinion. So those are my biggest takeaways. Just be really active on the app. The great thing is you always have your phone with you. You're sitting in line waiting for your kid to get out of school. There's no reason you can't be sharing a few closets or sharing your own closet. Sharing your own closet is always more important, just so you know. Sharing people who have purchased from you before, interacting, answering questions. It's a very easy app to engage in, and that's really what I love about it. So I think that about wraps it up. I'm just babbling now. I'm really excited. I did almost, not quite 100,000 in sales my first year using this. I guess I should rephrase this now that we're at the end of the video. I used Poshmark before this year. I had a different account that was attached. It was like all under the same umbrella as my eBay account. I sold maybe 5 items a month on that account, and I listed very little on it. I shut that account down. I reached out to Poshmark. I had them shut that down. I had this account. This account's been open since like 2016. And I never listed anything on it. So I started listing on this account and using this account. I had Poshmark's permission. Don't panic. And so this account has been active with listings for the last year. That's what I should say. And I'm really excited. I'm excited about how well it did. And I know that if I can start listing on an account and do this amount of sales, there's no reason that anyone else who wants to put in the time and the effort can't do the same. Yes, it's hard work. Yes, it's tedious. Yes, you feel like you're losing your mind some days. But you guys, I get to stay home with my kids and sell, I can't say 6 figures, but close to 6 figures in sales every single year. Next year for sure. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know what you thought of it down below. Leave me a comment. Tell me how your sales are doing, what your expectations of Poshmark are. I would love to hear about if you've been on there a year, what your first year has been like, what your sales have been like, and your goals for the next year. So I'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks again for tuning in. Bye.